everyone, how are you all doing? It is the Wednesday night live. That's it. So every Wednesday, 7 o'clock, we come here to my YouTube channel. If you haven't been here before, my name's Sophie, representing SB Reselling Co. So I basically sell a lot of tat. One person's junk is another person's treasure, shall we say. So I've had an absolutely mental day today, but before I get on and tell you about my day and what's happened, then let me know how you're all doing in the chat. Have you had any sales? Have you had any fails? What have you been up to today? Just let me know, and also just sling any questions my way. There's no guest here tonight, so it's just me flying solo, so hopefully we'll be okay. But yeah, let me know how you've all been doing. Put any questions in and let's go. Let's have a chat. So I've had a pretty crazy day. So last night, for whatever reason, I didn't go to sleep till like quarter to two in the morning. And then I woke up at 6:30, like really wide awake, and I was like, oh, I'm just gonna get up. Which is really unusual for me because as usual, I'm pretty much always in my pajamas. I never get out of bed unless I have to, like for work or anything. So yeah, anyone would have thought something had gone seriously wrong. So I got up, got my washing on, done all that kind of jazz, sent all my parcels. I've also made a little video to come out for tomorrow. I've done some more eBay listing. So because I'm not sourcing still at the moment, although I did do that other source, last week, but that was more because I had FOMO really. Like I shouldn't really have done that. That was more just because I had FOMO. So I've been going through my Pokemon collection basically. And I went through a stage where I just bought loads and loads and loads of Pokemon. And I've got probably about 8 different sets here. Now I'm not selling like all my cards. Obviously there's some that are like special or sentimental to me. There's some that are nostalgic to me. I collect mainly like Pikachus, Laprases, those Pokemon. So yeah, I thought I'd go through and just make loads of bundles basically. So I've made 7 in total, I think. Listed about 4 of them. The rest are in my draft bank. So that's the other thing that I've been trying to do today as well. Is I did some sell similars this morning, put on a few of my Pokemon bundles, and I've also been putting a draft bank on. I'm up to 7 on a draft now. So I'll do some more sell similars tomorrow, and then tomorrow I'll put some more in my draft bank. And the idea is so that when I'm away or if I'm at work, I can always put 5 new listings on a day and then supplement the rest with sell similars if I need to. Or then if my draft bank gets, big enough, I can do like 10 listings a day. Like, no matter what I'm doing, I can always put on new listings. So that's my plan anyway. So I basically made loads of bundles. So there's 25 card bundles, 50 card bundles, all kinds of different sets. And there's like evolution set, generation set, breakthrough, breakpoint, fates collide. You name it within the last within the last 10 years, I suppose, they're here. So I just thought, you know what, I'm just going to go through all of my tins and just start bundling out. And hopefully they'll go. I mean, I've listed them on Vinted as well as eBay and Poshmark too. I didn't put them on Depop because I didn't really feel like they were a Depoppy thing. Because obviously it's more for like clothes and stuff like that, isn't it? Really. So I didn't put them on Depop. But I've already sent out a couple of offers on Vinted on a couple of the bundles. So I'm hoping there'll be, some good interest in there for them. Now, just before I tell you about the next part of my day, because I think this is probably the most exciting part of my day, I'm just going to go into the chat and say hello. So we've got Jeff in. Hello, everyone. Hello, Jeff. That's Santa. Thanks so much for joining. We've also got Ali Evans in. Hello. Thank you so much for joining, Ali. We've got Lindsay and Alvin, Dumpster Divers. Hello, thanks so much for joining. Now for some reason Max calls Lindsay man like Alvin, lady like Lindsay. But for some reason, although I did it then, I can't quite get it in my head, and I keep saying Lindsay like lady. I don't know why I can't make my brain compute it, but I did actually have to really think about it then. Shouldn't be something I have to think so hard on, to be fair. Hi Lisa, thanks so much for joining. How you doing? Hello Ian J, how are you? Thank you so much for joining. Would you say you're a tap peddler, Sophie? Well, not quite like Derek. I think Derek is the original and ultimate tap peddler, really. But I would certainly say that I was a clothes peddler. And by the looks of it, now a Pokemon peddler as well. Sleep is overrated. Yeah. I mean, they all say, sleep, you can sleep when you're dead, which is true. But I'm really not someone who functions very well on not enough sleep. But I was obviously okay today. But I am feeling it a little bit now. I have to admit, I am a little bit like, oh, I'm tired now. Got to catch 'em all. Yeah, that's right. Absolutely. Hello, Chris. Thanks for joining. And we've got George in. Hi, George. Thanks so much for joining. Woo. Hello, Pete. Hello. Thanks for joining. Have you thought more about starting that YouTube channel yet? Let me know. And we've got Chop Chop, Busy Busy, Work Work, Bang Bang. Hello. Thanks so much for joining. I do love that name. I know I say it every time, but you just can't go wrong with it, can you? It's a great name. Hello, Kathy. Hello. Thanks so much for joining. Lindsay like lady the way. Yeah, I don't know why I have to think so hard about it, but I do. I don't know, it's like park arc, isn't it? When you get things around the wrong way. I do stuff like that all the time. Anyway, hello everybody, and thanks so much for joining. So let me tell you about probably the most exciting part of my day. So there I was, just going about my business, going about my day, and I was on Poshmark, and I thought I would join in the Posh live show. Now, I'd never seen a Posh live show. I didn't know what it was, but I was free at the time. It was on at 5 o'clock. I wasn't doing anything, so I thought, oh, I'm just going to pop in and join it, see what it's about. So while they're in beta testing mode, there is going to be like a feature on Poshmark, which is a little bit like Whatnot, where you can auction off your own items and things like that. Kind of like Whatnot. The max amount for an auction you can do is 60 seconds. You set how much you want to set the auction price at, and then within that 60 seconds, hopefully someone will buy your item. So what you do, basically, you have the hosts there. They're like really full of beans, full of energy. They were great, actually. And it was really quite exciting. So you send them off 2 of your listings. And what they do is it goes on for about 45 minutes or so. So you send 2 listings into them. They then go down, everyone who's in that group, in that live show, the first amount of listings. And I sold both my items. So I was quite chuffed with that. And it also gave me a chance to kind of test out Poshmark and see how it works, how the sale process works, and all that kind of thing as well. So I'll show you what I sold. Now, let me get this one. So this was the Tommy Hilfiger denim jeans, really nice summer skinny jeans, turquoise colour, really lovely colour. Now, so I basically got these. I haven't had these long, but they were really quite small, and I just had a feeling they may sit a little bit. So I thought, do you know what? I'm just going to test it out. I'm just going to put them on. So I started the auction at £10. They did only go for the £10, but obviously in such a short time frame, when people can only bid for 30 seconds, 45 seconds, 60 seconds, that's the gamble you take, isn't it? Really, that's the risk you're going to take. So yeah, I popped them on. They went for the £10, which means I got £8. And then once your information is verified, which mine is now, I didn't realise it wasn't, Poshmark use Royal Mail. Now, there's no way for you to change your shipping supplier. You can't change it to Evri, you can't change it to Yodel, you can't change it to InPost. Poshmark send you a prepaid shipping label with Royal Mail, so I've got to print out the labels tomorrow. Now, I don't obviously like, if you guys know me, like with my eBay and that, I stopped using Royal Mail a really long time ago because I just found I had far too many items like going missing, basically. So, but the label on it does say tracked 48 hours, so it is tracked. So I'm guessing the buyer is the person who pays the shipping. When you list on Poshmark, it does tell you what your take-home value is, and that is what it is. So you don't pay for like the shipping for it, basically. I'm guessing the buyer does. Must do, I suppose. So yeah, that was the one item that went, and it was all like so exciting. It was like, I was like, come on, bid people. Like it was all like really exciting. And this is the second item that went. It's the hundreds jumper. So the hundreds is a bit of like a skating brand. I think it's probably a little bit obscure actually. But they do go for quite a lot of money, like brand new. Like that jumper brand new probably would have been a good like 40 quid. However, I picked it up for £5 in the charity shop. And I think I've had this getting on for 8-10 months, something like that. I've had it for a long time, so I thought, you know what, that's going to be my second testing listing, if you like, on Poshmark on this live. So I popped that on, and again someone bought it for the £10. So I've had it for a long time. I'm more than happy to just let it go. It's given me a chance to actually see how Poshmark works, what happens, and blah blah blah. So yeah, really excited about that. And that was two very easy sales in the space of like 2 minutes, essentially. When eBay, Depop, and Vinted have given me like nothing today. So I feel quite excited about Poshmark. I definitely think like the live shows are the way to go. And you're going to catch people on that, that little impulse buy as well, get caught up in you've only got like 30 seconds to bid or 60 seconds to bid. So yeah, one thing I will say, I didn't find the sales process that smooth. Reason being is because I found I had a lot of emails come through from Poshmark afterwards. Obviously, I had the two saying I need to verify my account. That's fine. So I could obviously get paid or whatever. Like, that's not a problem. But then I had another one saying I had to select my shipping. Then I had another one saying I had to generate the label. Then I had another one through with the label actually on. So it's not like a really slick process. I think in total I had about 6 emails through for the 2 items before I even got to like the one with the shipping label on. I also didn't select, as far as I know, I didn't select for Royal Mail to come and collect. However, Royal Mail thinking they're coming to collect my items with the shipping label tomorrow while I'm at work. But I've got the shipping labels to print, and I'm guessing I'll just take it to the delivery office. So yeah, there's a few things that I'm not quite too sure on. I'm hoping they don't turn up and like charge me for not being there or something. I don't think they can. But they give you like a 4-hour time slot for the postman to turn up with your label and that. So it's a bit rubbish, really. Yeah, but actually, the people who bought my stuff, they paid instantly. It was quite like the actual auction process and everything. It was really easy to use. It was pretty seamless. There was a couple of people who had problems there, which is why the host is they're still hosting the live auction bits themselves, because there's still some bugs there, like someone's listing got through and on their device the button to actually go to auction didn't didn't come up. So basically, you send your listings in during the chat, like you just click on like this little button and you just select the 2 you want. They then send you an invite to auction. And then you click the auction button and then select obviously how much you want to start it at, what's the time frame, which is either 30 seconds, 45, 60 seconds, and then off it goes, really. But yeah, it's pretty crazy. I'm just gonna come back into the chat now, guys, so do let me know, see if you've got any questions or like, anything like that. Pete created the channel but no video yet. Oh yeah, do Pete, do. Hi Jilly B, thanks for joining. Hi Limelight Jenny, thanks so much for joining. Jeff says, I always want to go for an extra chitty chitty bang bang in there. Yeah, definitely. Lisa, so you don't do it yourself? No, not yet. So because there's still like some bugs and issues with the auction, like obviously Poshmark's done its beta testing at the moment, so they're kind of hosting it for you. But apparently, if you're a Posh ambassador, you will get access to the training before other people, and you'll be able to host your own live auctions before other people as well. And there's quite a bit that you need to do to become like a Posh ambassador as well. Like, let me just get mine up a moment. Let me close that. So yeah, so I'm at 29% of getting there to a Posh ambassador at the moment. So you need to do 5,000 shares, 5,000 community shares, which is just sharing other people's items. So I'm at 839. 223 self shares, so that's sharing your own items. You need 5,000, so I've done 223. 70, I've done 70 new Poshmark people shared. You need a minimum of 50. A minimum of 50 listings. I've got 51. A minimum of 15 sales. I've had 2 sales now. And you also need to give a thank you note, or someone needs to give you one. I'm not too sure. It says thank you notes given, so I don't know whether that means to you or to them. Average post time's got to be less than 3 days. And average purchase rating's got to be above 4.5 stars. So there's quite a lot to do to get to Posh ambassador level, basically. So whenever I do get some spare time, I do just sit there kind of just sharing other people's listings on Poshmark, really. You can see it's kind of got that, social vibe to it. Yeah, definitely. Well, I think probably both together, I probably made about £8 profit on it. But at least, it's I've been able to test it, so that's nice. Julia, I'm not sure. So you had to join the wait list for Poshmark. You could probably get on it now if you wanted. I'm not too sure whether you've got to go on like another wait list. So what they did was release like so many waiting lists, and then they just let people through like in waves. There's still no like members of the public on there, if you like customer people, not obviously resellers or people selling. It's just people selling at the moment. George, I really like the live show aspect. Whatnot doesn't have clothing yet. I don't think so. Yeah, definitely. Poshmark are definitely cornering it if Whatnot don't have it yet. And speaking of Whatnot, actually, I also emailed Whatnot today. See, I've had such a productive day. Like I'm so chuffed with myself because I've had such a productive day. So for ages, I've been waiting to get on Whatnot. So I applied ages and ages ago, and nothing moved with my account. it still just says apply to sell at the top. And every time I click apply to sell, still, it says done. Like you don't need to do anything. I'm like, well, why can't I sell anything then? So I'd left it for a good while, like a good, few months or whatever. Then I thought, oh, actually, maybe I should try and kind of pick it up. Um, so I messaged them on Instagram a couple of weeks ago, absolutely no response. And then I've sent an email through the app now, and apparently it takes 48 hours for them to get back to you. So I don't know, maybe they will actually like activate my account properly. I'm not too sure. Poshmark sounds too posh for me. I need tap mark. It's not posh, Santa. It's all just clothes and it's just all your average stuff, really. Yeah, they do sportswear, I think. Oh, Whatnot. Sorry, I thought we were still on about Poshmark. I don't know whether I have seen any clothes bit on Whatnot, but I have to admit, like, because I can't use it properly yet, I haven't looked at it properly, to be honest. I've just lost where I am. Here I am. You don't get charged if you're not in. I've had it recently. Post office will take it, no problem. Oh, good. Wonderful. Thanks, Pete. Ginny loves Royal Mail. I used to use Royal Mail all the time, Jilly. When I first started reselling, so I was using Royal Mail all the time, and then I was getting so many item not received cases, and it was kind of over, the strikes and Christmas and blah, all those kind of times. It was over, an extraordinary time for them, I suppose, really. But I lost so much money in item not received cases. So I just switched to Every, and I've never had a problem since. And I've been using them for almost 6 months now, and I've never had anything on eBay ever since say that it's never been delivered. Obviously, there is that chance, but touch wood, hopefully that will continue and just carry on. But I've literally never had a problem. But it's the same with InPost and Yodel. Like loads of people say, everyone's got their own bad experiences with different shipping carriers, haven't they? But I haven't had. The only people I've ever had poor experience with is Royal Mail. But yeah, it's just one of those things, I suppose, really, isn't it? I should have put a drink here. Actually, I usually do, but I forgot to put a drink here, but quite often I do. So yeah, as you can see, I've had a very productive day. So has anyone else had any sales? Have you had any fails? Anything else going on in the world? Hopefully next week there'll be a guest, hopefully. I couldn't get anyone this week, unfortunately. Just everyone was like busy. It's getting to that time, isn't it? Where it's like nice weather outside, people have got plans or, whatever. Although saying that, it has absolutely been tipping it down here, sort of on and off all day. I haven't managed to go to a car boot yet either. Mainly because obviously I'm on my sourcing ban at the moment, aren't I? Because I've got not a lot of space. Although actually, looking through some of my boxes, there is some space starting to creep back in now. So hopefully soon, I'll be able to, go at the car boot. I am off this weekend at the moment. I can't get any shifts at the moment this weekend, which is really annoying. Well, there are shifts, but it's night shifts, and I don't do night shifts. Don't like nights. Can't cope. Can't manage it at all. I'm too old. Good sales past few days. Good. Well done, George. My eBay has totally dropped off the cliff again. So 2 weeks ago, so not last week, week before, I had a good weekly income because I have mine set to, each week. And then this week, yesterday on eBay, I got paid £27 for the whole week. How depressing is that? Especially when I spent so much time taking loads of photos of, revising all my listings, like looking for all the ones where either the photos are dropped off, or say if there was only like 5 or 6 photos on that item or something. And I was like boosting everything up to kind of getting to like 10, 11 photos mark. Spent so much time doing that. And it hasn't made an awful lot of difference. I think maybe in like some stages I had maybe a few more like offers come through, but it hasn't made an awful lot. I think maybe I sold 2 older items out of it, but yeah, it hasn't made an awful lot of difference. I just don't really know what's going on. Probably nothing, but I just feel like there's something going on and I'm not sure what. But yeah, it's what it is, I suppose, isn't it? Go and get a drink. Oh, I might do in a second. Yeah, I will. It's my own silly fault. Lisa, 2 on vintage yesterday, but eBay has dropped off a cliff. Last 3 days, no sales. Yeah, that's exactly what I was just saying, Lisa. It's just, I just can't. I mean, there's no point sitting there and like trying to work it out, trying to work out what else you could have done, what else you should be doing, or whatever. Like, there's literally like no point sitting there and like trying to work it out, because at the end of the day, it's like it's an algorithm, isn't it? And they're going to be like consistently changing it, and it's hard to know when you've hit that algorithm, really, like what you did sometimes. um but yeah, it's a difficult one, but at least you've had 2 on vintage, so obviously you get your 100% profit then as well, don't you? What about Depop, Lisa? Because you were selling on Depop. I know that had dropped off for you a little bit as well, hadn't it? Has that picked up for you? Strangely enough, actually, at the weekend, I sold a Tommy Hilfiger hat on Depop, which I could have fallen over, to be quite honest. I think it went for like the full price as well. I paid £1 for it at that Averley car boot near Essex that I went. Yeah, I paid £1 for it, and it went for 14.99 on Depop. And then I think after the fees and that, I had just a little bit over £12 out of it. So I can't complain too much at that. So once in a blue moon sale for me on Depop. That'll be it now for about 6 months. I won't get anything else. Do you send offers on Vinted? Yep, I always send offers on Vinted. The minute someone's favorited any of my items, I send them an offer, even if it's just like £1 off. You never know what might just nudge that person over the line. Sometimes as well, if they haven't responded to the offer, I mean, obviously it usually means they don't want it and they're just annoying you. But if they haven't responded to the offer, sometimes I'll just send them a message saying, hi, I've sent you an offer. If you can pay today, I can also get it shipped for you today as well. A couple of times that's worked for me as well. But yeah. People have spent all their money on flags and coronation picnics. Yep, definitely. I have sold a lot in the last 2 weeks on Vinted, all my own stuff. Nice, Jilly. Yeah, I had I think literally like over the week, obviously like eBay only got me like £27. But I had about 5 things to ship. So Vinted, I actually sold, would you believe, a Pokemon card on Vinted for £1. Like, what's the point? But still £1. And I also sold a tie, not one I picked up in the charity shop in like a previous video. It was given to me just in like a bundle of clothes that someone didn't want anymore. And yeah, I sold it for like £6.99, I think, on Vinted. A tie. Like, who wears ties anymore? Weird, isn't it? It's weird, like the stuff that people do buy sometimes. Depop is very up and down. I will get sales close together, then nothing for a bit. Yeah, that's happened to me before. I mean, that one Tommy Hilfiger sale is literally going to be the only thing I get for about 3 or 4 months now. I can guarantee it. I did have someone message me on Depop as well, asking me like the measurements of a Ralph Lauren like women's golf top. Give them the measurements, and then she was just like, "Yeah, thanks." I was like, do you even realise that I've just had to like move 3 80-litre boxes to get to that to measure it for you? Like, usually I don't even bother, to be honest, because for me, like 9 times out of 10, if people want measurements, it usually like they don't buy it 9 times out of 10. They're just being a bit annoying. Like, you don't walk into a shop with a tape measure, do you? And like, oh yeah, I'll have that. You don't do it. So yeah, she obviously caught me in a good moment, and then was just like, "Yeah, okay, thanks, bye." I was like, "Cheers." um, do you ever spotlight your wardrobe? I find it helps sometimes get views and favourites. Yeah, I do, George. I don't do it too often. 9 times out of 10, I will get a sale that will cover the cost of the spotlight as well. I think spotlights have got slightly better because I used to spotlight quite a lot before, like kind of last year. Um, and sometimes, like, you wouldn't get a sale, hardly get any favourites, like nothing would happen. But then other times you would get stuff, like there was no rhyme or reason. But the last few times I have spotlighted it, I have had a sale that covered the cost of the spotlight, basically. But yeah, I do spotlight it. I don't bump items so much now. I used to do that before, but then Vinted changed all their pricing for that. So it used to be like, oh, what was it? Like 99p for like anything, any item for like 3 days, something like that, to bump it to like the top of your wardrobe. And then they changed their pricing, and now it goes by kind of what item it is. And I think I wanted to bump my Xbox at one point, and it wanted like nearly a fiver off me just for 3 days. I was like, no, no, not doing that. Especially when I've got no evidence it's going to be any better than when I paid 99p for it. Jilly, I have loads of Pokemon. Oh yeah, look at them, Jilly, because if they're old, like you say, and obviously if they're in good condition, obviously no whiting on the edges, no scratches, creases, bends, all that kind of thing. Especially if they've got a little first edition stamp on them, then yeah, definitely look at them and see what they're worth, see what we can get for them. That's the kind of ones that people are after. Oh no. Yeah, I mean, I had like my mum bought me Pokemon when I was in like, primary school. When the first, base set kind of came out. We had so many cards. I just wish like we'd kept hold of them. But you don't always think, do you, at that point or anything. Like so many people just got rid of all their cards. And, now they're so sought after, those first edition cards. I keep getting people on Depop asking me, that's weird. I have to admit though, I've had a lot less scammy messages on Depop now. Because I don't know about you, Lisa, but literally every time I listed an item, I was getting about 3 different scammy messages through for that one item. And that seems to have calmed down a little bit now, which is good. I think a lot of people kicked up about it because they let it go on for too long. But I think apparently what they were doing, these people, they were like hacking into old users' accounts. So Depop didn't realize that these were like scammy people, essentially, because they were using actual people's like accounts. They weren't bot accounts or anything. But yeah. Yeah, I did do a video about spotlighting, didn't I? I did like a tracking the progress of it, didn't I? Each day I put up like a different little screen recording of, curves and, if I sold anything and all that kind of thing, didn't I? So yeah, go check that out if you want to see a spotlighting video and my experience of it. Shouldn't that be on OnlyFans? Yeah, probably should be on OnlyFans. Oh wow, Jilly. Got a Pokemon Pikachu Game Boy. Wow, you need to hold on to that or check that out because that will be worth something. I don't think Kathy she's going to be a millionaire. Don't get Paul Jilly's hopes up now that she's going to be able to just quit and go off and live in Spain or something or whatever. Don't get her hopes up. Buy the mansion of her dreams. But yeah, definitely could be worth good couple of £100. Obviously, depending on the condition and if it's working and everything else. Jilly, you've got all sorts. Bills and Moon, hello. Hi, Nicola. I don't seem to get scams on Depop. Oh, I had loads of them. Absolutely loads of them. I don't know whether it's because I hadn't used my account in quite a while. I do have two-factor, authentication on it, but I don't know if it's because I hadn't used my account for a while. Maybe I just got a little bit more targeted because it was like someone putting new listings up. They probably thought I was fresh meat or something, but no. First day back at work. Or have you been on holiday or something, Jilly? Just coming down. I get people ask me to take a photo of an item. I am 21 stone, won't get into a size 10 strappy dress without a run up. I know, like loads of people ask me about, the fit of things and stuff like that, and I just say, oh, it wasn't mine. I'm selling it for a friend or something like that. Because obviously it would probably not fit me, and I've never put it on because I bought it from a charity shop or a car boot to resell. So I just make up some shit excuse as to why I can't put it on or anything. Oh my god, Jilly, you're killing me now. I think you're gonna have to get loads of photos and send me everything you've got. Maybe we'll go through it and see what you can put on. Because it sounds like you've got a lot of good stuff there, Jilly. You've been off work for 10 weeks? Do you mean sick for 10 weeks or just off work? I'm the opposite. Most of the clothes I sell are too big for me. Yeah, I mean, I'll obviously just pick up whatever's available. I do try and go more for sizes between 12 upwards. 12 to 20 basically. Anything under size 12 I find a little bit sticky. But yeah, it is pretty sticky if they're smaller sizes. George, I saw Pokemon games at CX £40 each and a blue Game Boy Color for 80. Yeah, it does all go for good money. There's a trader guy at the car boot where I go to, and he's obviously a games trader, and he's just got massive boxes of Game Boy Colors, original Game Boys, and loads of stuff. A lot of it does look a little bit shaky condition, to be honest. But he wants 70 to 80 quid for it, and it's why are you bringing this to a car boot? No one is going to give you 70 to 80 pound for a Game Boy here. You're better off just sticking it on eBay or whatever. But yeah, and that kind of annoys me when people do that. They come to car boots and they want eBay prices or whatever, and it's look where you are. You're in a field. People do not want to give you that kind of money. That's nice, Jilly. Oh, sick. I hope you're feeling better now. I hope you're okay. It's a long time. Hi, Fix It. Hi, Leal. Thanks for joining. I would love to sell computer games and consoles, but just can't source them. The majority of mine did come from a car boot. Obviously, you do take a gamble if you get anything from a car boot, essentially, because you've got to then take it home and test it. If it doesn't work, you can't take it back. So I do try and pay as little as possible for consoles at a car boot because the risk is on me. And as much as someone tells you something does work, you can guarantee you get home and it doesn't work. So quite often, if I am negotiating with someone, I do say, look, the risk is on me. Like I've got to go home and test that. If it doesn't work, I've got nowhere to go with it, basically. So yeah, that's where I get a lot of them from. Trying to think where else. Oh, Facebook Marketplace. I've got some from there. Again, you've just got to try and get them at the right price, a price that you'll be able to make a profit on. Um, I did actually once get an Xbox 360 off Olio, which is the free app where people list things on there for free. But and that did work actually. It had no power supply or anything like that, but I already had that here. So I tested it at home and it did work. So that was actually right. I'm trying to think where else I might have got them from. Sometimes Gumtree's a good place to look as well. But yeah, they are about. You've just got to look around for them and then hopefully you can get them at the right price. And I think you're probably better off just trying to sell it yourself rather than giving it to CEX, unless you want something really specific and you want that sold there and then. Because you've got to remember, like CEX will give you like, I don't know, like that, for example, like George said, that Game Boy Color was in CX for £80. CX probably only gave them like 30, 40 for it, if that. So you're better off, trying to do it yourself, really. But if you can get the right stuff, I recommend you look out for like mainly Nintendo, older Nintendo. Then it will sell. It will go. Oh God, here he is. I wondered when he was going to pop up. Oh look, mess me hair up now. Here he is. I think I've managed to get my urges under control long enough to see Sophie live, but it's a close thing. One knowing wink and I may be off. Oh, Sean, I've missed you. I haven't seen you about for a little bit actually, so I hope you're all right. Sean, take the pills. ah. Just finished fixing a PS4 that had no screws or APU clamp when I got it. I don't know what the APU clamp part is, but it sounds like it was probably quite crucial, but I don't know what it is. I was getting through consoles really quickly, really well. And I've still got this massive Xbox 360 bundle here that I just can't get rid of. I'm still sending out offers out on it like today. Like I sent one out like, last week. And I've had that for ages. It's the last thing to go. And it's a massive bundle. It's got like 2 controllers, Connect, steering wheel, 11 games, pedals with a steering wheel. It's got everything. Like everything you could possibly want in a 360, it's got. I've sold loads of other 360s before, even spares and repairs ones. Nintendo Wii's go well for me. I've sold a Mega Drive in this time. I'm trying to think what else I've sold. Sold a couple of iPhones in this time. No, this Xbox will not go. I don't know what to do with it now. Can't take those pills, Paul. That's a bit of a tongue twister, isn't it? Or I would never be able to watch Sophie. Oh, thanks, Sean. Hi, all you lovely loons. So nice to be able to actually hear you speak, Sophie. Oh, that's okay, Max. Thanks for joining. The pills are the problem. Chop, chop, Sean. Put the pills down. Yeah, he even took the bucket off his head, so he can't have been taking the pills. Did I miss the Sophie Silent show? Oh, don't tell me I haven't had sound on or something now. Hello, Harry. Thanks so much for joining. Really appreciate it. CEX gives you pennies compared to what they actually sell it for. Yeah, they do. And I've also noticed as well, and I think this is kind of a sign of the times changing is that CEX is very often dead. Like my local one, it's very dead when I go in there. There are still like, good stuff in the window and things like that, but around the shop, there's not much like there now. And I think a lot of it is down to like people downloading stuff, straight onto their console rather than actually buying the physical copy. And I also went in there I had like a load of DVDs, so I thought, I'll just take them down to CEX, or well, I call it the sex shop. I call it sex. So I thought I'm going to take it down to there, try and trade them up, and they offered me a penny a DVD, and there's charity shop opposite, and I said, do you know what, whatever, I'm just going to take them to the charity shop opposite. But I also took in like, some Wii games, Xbox games, PC games. Look, the PC games they wouldn't have off me. They said it was something to do with the coding on it or something like that. I don't know. But they wouldn't take PC games off me, won't sell them. And I got a really stupidly low price. I mean, it wasn't like amazing games I took in anyway, do you know what I mean? But I was quite shocked with how low they go now. It's not really worth your time, I don't think. Sophie, don't use the terms Shaun A and popping up in the same sentence. Sorry about that. Maxine, again, just saying hello, and to his main manager, Shaun A. So Shaun introduced Max to Ren, who's a music artist. I don't know if you guys are subscribed to Max, but go and subscribe to his channel. And Max did a reaction video to Ren, and it was the first, I'd never heard of Ren, and I saw this song and it was really good. So go watch Max's reaction video, although Max, I think, is slightly obsessed with him now, and I'm not sure whether it was the best of ideas, Shaun showing Max Ren, to be honest, because now he's like totally obsessed. Hey Harry. Sold 2 Xbox 360S this week, 45.55. Leeds Connect, blah 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 blah. Only listed for a few days. Oh, Leo. I don't know how you've managed it. I really don't. I literally cannot shift this thing for love nor money. Just don't get it. And I don't think I'm being that unreasonable. Like, I've got the I think it is an Xbox 360S actually that I've got. I'm sure it is. Yeah, and I've got it on for $74.99 with all that stuff. So I think that's pretty good, really. Yeah. Hello, Dans. Don't worry. Any time is a good time. Our sex always has massive queues. For anyone who has just joined, yes, I did just say sex. It's because I call CX shop the sex shop. Yeah, ours doesn't anymore, Kathy. Don't really know why. Oh, thanks, Max. I panicked then for a minute, thinking that I didn't have sound or something. I was like, oh no. I'd be like, I've just sat here for 49 minutes with no sound and no one told me. But then I realised people were talking back to me, so obviously I've got sound. What a weirdo. Just coming down the chat now. Have you been getting any offers on the Xbox? Yeah. Well, no, actually, let me rephrase that. So I've had people favouring it and I've sent out offers, but I haven't had any offers on it, because if I had, I'd have taken it by now and just got shot of it. But yeah, I've had people favouring it, but I'm watching it, but no one's had it. So it is really annoying. Sex must use the stores to source but sell online, as most do. Yeah, they probably do actually, Shaun. That's that probably is what they do. I don't know whether anyone's seen Lindsay and Alvin introduced me to him. I think his name's Mark. What's he called? UK Dumpster Diving Kings, something like that. They introduced me to him, and also do follow Lindsay and Alvin's channel if you haven't done already. But he goes into the bins at sex, so he goes in the bins, and the amount of like DVD games, all that kind of stuff, all the discs that they snap in half, or like he's found like retro 64 games where they've taken out the like part of the cartridge, like the what's it called? Like the Leal will know what I mean, like the board on the inside of the game, the actual game part, where they've taken that out and just dumped it in the bin. And it's like, why? Why would you do that? I just sell the Xbox as a basic bundle, £50, list the wheel separately. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to try something, Leo, because I've had it for a long time now, and I think maybe I should just bundle it out now rather than all together. Thank you for that bit of advice. As long as Max does not reach the screaming piss yourself levels of boy band fans, he should be okay. As far as I'm aware, Ren does not induce Phil your undies level of fandom, but it is Max. Yeah, Sean, I think he's getting close, bless him. Woo woo. Woo woo sex is always quiet. That's it, yeah, Martin UK. Martin, that's it. I always call him Mark, don't I? Because I've asked you about him before and you were like, who the hell is Mark? And I was like, the dumpster diver man. Wise words there, Sean. And also from Tommy Lee. Yeah. I would call Lee Leal because I think I got confused. One time I thought his name was Neil, but it's Lee. And I couldn't get it in my head what his name was, whether it was Neil or Lee. So I just decided to call him Leo ever since then. And it saves any blushes then because he's just Leo from now. Lisa saw one of his videos the other day. Got loads of trainers. Yeah, I know. And the guy from the Nike store came out and was like having a pop at him for going through the bins, and he was like, oh, you need to get out of there, it all gets recycled through Nike recycling, blah blah blah. And he was like, oh no it doesn't. And it turned into like a bit of an argument, and I was like, oh, it's like, why not, if you stuck it in a bin, why destroy it, just let someone else have it. It really annoys me. People that have bought my 360S said they just wanted to play an old game, so I think most people just want a simple bundle. Okay, nice, Leo. Thank you. Yeah, I will definitely simplify my bundle. The circuit board inside the cartridges. Yes, that is what I mean. That's the bit I mean. Limelight, I've never been in sex or cash converters. I've never been in the cash converters. I don't think there's ever been one in Cheltenham. Yeah, I've never been one there. I'm guessing it's like the same kind of thing. But yeah, I've never been in one. But you used to get like CEX, they've never given you great value anyway, really, for trading. You got slightly better for cash, but they never really gave you great value anyway. But it really is poor now, really is bad. That's it. Yeah, our store. Yeah, I kept reading Nelly as Neil, didn't I? Yeah, and I confused myself, didn't I? What your name was? I was like, I knew it was Lee, but I was like, why has he got Neil there? Yeah, it was all just too confusing for me, so I just decided to call you Leo. As Max's spiritual guide, I am offended by the idea Max is anything other than a fully rounded, sane individual. Although the chances of his missus finishing him off has gone up over the last few vids. I can imagine with all the Ren playing. Hello, Amanda. Nice to see you. I haven't seen you in ages. How you doing? Do let me know. Yeah, you're not wrong. Yeah, I just said that, Jenny. I literally just said that. Like, where have you been, Amanda? You just fell off the face of the earth. Yeah, I probably had. That's very true and very likely. More than likely. Hello. Amanda says hello to everyone. I'm at the bottom of the chat now. So I'm going to stop waffling on now. I do have a video hopefully coming out tomorrow. What else am I doing over this week then? So hopefully I will have a video out tomorrow. Depending if I get any shifts or not for the weekend, I may chance the car boot. We'll see. We'll see how the funds are, see what's going on. And what else am I going to do? Hopefully we'll get some sales in and things like that as well. Oh, and I'm also going to my mum's for Sunday dinner because this is like big news in my family. See where I've been scratching? Look, I'm getting hay fever now, guys, and I'm coming out in like rashes, and my eyes are starting to itch, my nose is going, and everything. I'm a bit of a mess with hay fever actually. What was I saying? Oh yeah. So my dad, he's what, 64, 63, 64. Never been out of the UK in his life, never had a passport in his life. Obviously, he's had to get a passport for my brother's wedding and that. So he's going away on Sunday with his friend to Spain. So I dread to think what that's going to be like, to be totally honest. So me and Mum are going to spend the day together on Sunday. I think Mum will like miss him, but at the same time, I think she quite likes her own company. I think she'll be all right. I don't think she'll miss him that much. When are you going on your travels? So I am going on the, God, look at that. It's quite really rashy, isn't it? I am going on the 22nd of June. So we're all flying out to Germany for the wedding on the 22nd of June. The wedding is on the 24th of June. Then I'm going back to Switzerland with my brother and then obviously his new wife, because that's where they live. So I'll be there for a few days exploring like their local area. And then I'm going to go and get the train from Lahr, which is in Switzerland, down to Zurich. I just need to book that train actually from Zurich to Austria. That's the overnight train. Unfortunately, I don't know whether the single carriages have already sold out or not. We couldn't work out whether you had to wait 60 days before your trip to be able to book to try and get like a single carriage. Obviously, you've got your bed and your sink and everything in that carriage. Yeah, we couldn't work out whether they were sold out or whether you had to wait 60 days before. So we'd left it a little bit. Otherwise, we will have to, I will have to share with like 4 other people on the train, which is kind of annoying because I'm a little bit worried about that. Because, like, if I fart in my sleep, there's going to be like 3 randomers on this train. And I think they might be like, kind of like bunk bed type things as well. So I'm hoping I don't get the top one because I am liable to fall out as well. It is the kind of thing I do. So yeah, I feel a bit worried about that train now. But that's the only thing left I need to book. So that was Zurich to Austria, 10-hour train, overnight train. 2 days in Austria, staying in a space capsule hotel. And then I'm going up to Prague, and that train from Austria to Prague, it's 4 hours, 45 minutes, and it cost me £16 to book. I still can't get over that because there's literally nowhere in the UK you can go for £16 on a train. So especially not for like a 4-hour journey. So, yeah. And then I'm going to go probably come back from Prague, because the one thing I didn't quite think about when I planned all this was how I was going to pay my rent and bills at the end of the month, because I won't be working for 3 weeks. Didn't think about that bit, did I? No. Who needs to pay their rent and bills? So I've been trying to work a little bit extra just to make sure I've got like some money up for that as well, but I'm sure it'll all be fine. It all comes out in the wash, doesn't it? It'll all work itself out. All I need to do as well is just try and get my eBay sales back picked up again to where they were, and it'll be sound. It'll all be sorted. So yeah, that is the trip. Visit the Queen. Don't you mean the King? Boys on tour, I know. He's a bit old to be doing that kind of thing, really, isn't he? Like, he's a bit past it. Maybe. Oh, very nice. I've been to Rome before. It was lovely. Very nice. Very expensive though, but yeah, it was really nice. Scratching, yes, I am. 99p, I know. Oh no, I can't do vodka, Sean. No, that would make me so sick. What's a gram of matching powder at £50? The last two don't cure you, but you won't care. No, I probably wouldn't care. I'd be past caring, I think, by the sounds of it at that point. I think I'll probably just stick with an antihistamine. That sounds the most sensible thing to do. What's the matching powder? I think I know what you mean, but I don't want to say it out loud. Farting journey group action, so it's the last your problems. Yeah, I know. Amanda, June, I'm going to LA, Palm Springs, sorry, not Palm Springs, Palm Springs and Vegas. 10-day holiday, looking forward to it. Wow, well done, Amanda. That is amazing. Oh, I'd love to do that. I've never been to America. I'd love to go. Absolutely love to go. I'd love to go to like Vegas, Universal Studios, Florida, Disney, obviously like Harry Potter World. I just want to go everywhere. I would just love to do it. We did a communal carriage from Milan to Paris, was okay, but better to be on the top, especially if someone heavy around. Oh, well, they like tip it over then. I'm a bit heavy actually. Jenna's very excited for you too. That is very exciting, Amanda. That's amazing. Oh, and you're driving as well. Wow. See, I don't have the courage to drive in other countries because I'm just a bit scared about driving on the other side of the road. I was going to say the wrong side of the road then, but that's a bit of a debate, really, isn't it? But yeah, I don't think I've got the courage to drive in other countries. So well done, you. Seems like he may have done. Phil Fountain when he's on the beers. Oh dear. Warner Brothers Studios is awesome. Yeah, I've been to the one here, like, the film studios in Watford. But I haven't been to like America or anything like that. I would absolutely love to go. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for joining. As you all know, I like to try and keep these things down to like an hour. Plus, I need to do my tea. I've got smoked haddock fish cakes. I think we're going to do some cheesy mash and just some green vegetables as well. Got to make 2 lots, so I've got one for work tomorrow as well. So I'm going to get on and do that. And thanks so much for joining, everyone. I hope you found it interesting, insightful, possibly something you may have wanted to forget joining, but either way, it's all okay. Hopefully there will be a guest next week. I just need to sort a guest out. I have to admit, to be honest, I totally forgot that I was even doing a Wednesday night live. I've done this every week for like how long now? And I totally forgot for some reason. So yeah, hopefully there will be a guest for next week, and I will catch you all soon. Stay safe.